Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be telling you guys about how I was in the newspaper for cubing. This actually happened twice, and let's just get right into the story. So, the way this happened was my sister did this Girl Scout project that made it into the newspaper, and the person that wrote the article knew my mom, and my mom told her about my cubing, and she wanted to do an interview with me and put it into the newspaper. So this first one happened right before Nationals 2015 in South Carolina. So about a month before the competition, she interviewed me. She asked me a bunch of questions about cubing, like why I started cubing, how I practice, and then just a bunch of other random stuff about the cube, like different types of cubes, and just a lot of cubing related questions. And she also asked me a few other things that I do besides cubing. Anyway, so the article came out right after Nationals, the competition, and she wanted us to send in some of the results from the competition because she knew I was going there. And we sent in some of the biggest highlights, and one of them was my 6.32 second 3x3 solve that I'm sure all of you guys know about. And that was one of the biggest parts of the article because I was 22nd in the world for 3x3, which was pretty crazy at the time. I'm now 71st, which tells you that I really need to get another fast single. Anyway, back to the story. So this article actually was on the front page of the printed version of the newspaper, which was pretty cool actually. I didn't really expect that. And a lot of people at school saw it, they were telling me about it. And the picture that was used for the article, if you were to just Google my name in Google Images, it's one of the first pictures that would come up. So anyway, on to the second one. So this next one was actually about me going to Worlds this year. So the same person interviewed me about 2 weeks before we left for Europe about me going to Worlds, and I told her about the other two competitions I was going to, German Big Q Open and London Open. I told her a few other things about the cube, that weren't included in the first one. However, a few things from the first one did eventually, or they did make it into this article, so there were a few repeats, but not too much. Anyway, so I told her a bunch of other stuff about the cube, like I said, and this article actually had a few mistakes in it, unfortunately, and same for the other one. So as I was reading this article, I saw a bunch of the mistakes, in it, and I'm like, yeah, that's not quite accurate, and all of you cubers can probably figure out what the mistakes are. So this one came out while I was gone, actually. It came out while I was in London. So we got to London the day it came out, but it wasn't out yet because California was still sleeping due to the time changes. But after we got back to our apartment later in the day, I turned on my computer and I read it. We read through the entire thing, and the picture that was used for this one, I was actually kind of surprised this one got used. It was a picture of me in front of my shelf of like 100 cubes, which I barely touch. And she also took a bunch of pictures of me on my speed stacks timer with the display of me solving. And I'm kind of surprised one of those wasn't used. In the second article, it does say at the bottom that I was going to hold a competition where I live, but we actually had to cancel that, unfortunately, because of the proximity regulations. So that, unfortunately, we had to cancel, and we didn't know about that until after the article was released. So anybody who read them thought I was holding one. Yeah, so I just was not able to hold it due to the proximity regulations, unfortunately. But I'm going to see if I can hold another one later on where proximity of another competition won't interfere. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys have ever been in the newspaper or anything else like that because of cubing. And once again, both articles, the links to them will be in the description if you guys are interested in reading them. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Bye.